Hello, YouTubers. New Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD update. Now, my good friend, the Doctor Who guy, asked me how many Doctor Who DVDs that came out in 2019. Well, it's a lot. Let's take a look back what titles that came out. Starting on June 23rd, the BBC came out with The Time Meddler, the four-part story starring William Hartnell. The Crotons, the four-part story with Patrick Troughton. The Three Doctors Special Edition, the four-part story with Jon Pertwee. Planet of the Spiders, the six-part story starring Jon Pertwee. And the four-part story, The Sunmakers. So that's the first 5 titles that came out on DVD. Then, on July 9th, the BBC released another batch of classic Doctor Who stories. And the first up that came out is the 6-part story, The Invasion of Time, starring Tom Baker. Frontios, the 4-part story starring Peter Davison. The Mark of the Rani, the 2-part story starring Colin Baker. And introducing Kate O'Mara as the Rani. No, not to be confused with the Rani from the Sarah Jane Adventures, the evil Rani from this story. And the 3-part story, The Happiness Patrol, starring Sylvester McCoy. So that's 4 titles came out so far, which is 9. Now, originally, the Doctor Who TV movie was supposed to be out on July 9th, but the BBC pulled it from the website because it was out of print again due to some clearance issues. Then, on July 23rd, the BBC released some more classic Doctor Who titles, with The Gunfighter, starring William Hartnell, the 4-part story. Then you got the 5-part story, The Dominators, with Patrick Troughton. The 6-part story, Colony in Space. Terror of the Zygon, with Tom Baker. And Planet of Fire. Peter Davison, I'm sorry. So that's 14 titles. And The Colony in Space is Jon Pertwee on there. Okay. Then, on August 5th, August 6th, the BBC released 5 more titles with Doctor Who, with Terror of the Terror of Auton, starring Jon Pertwee, the 4-part story. Next up, The Face of Evil, a 4-part story with Tom Baker. The 5 Doctors Special Edition, with both the original 1983 transmission and the 1995 Special Edition with Peter Davison. The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, the 4-part story starring Sylvester McCoy. And finally, the only David Tennant story that reissued is The End of Time Parts 1 and 2. But even though I already own that set as part of the complete special set. Then, next, on August 23rd, the BBC released some more classic Doctor Who titles with The Web Planet, starring William Hartnell, a 6-part story. Invasion of the Dinosaurs with Jon Pertwee. Revenge of the Cybermen, Tom Baker, 4-part story. It's a 6-part for the Invasion of Dinosaurs. Black Orchid, the 2-part story with Peter Davison. And finally, Paradise Towers with Sylvester McCoy. Then, on September, the BBC re-released some more classic Doctor Who titles. Yes. So the BBC did release the Aztec Special Edition with Galaxy 4 with William Hartnell. The Seeds of Death Special Edition with Patrick Troughton. The Day of the Daleks with Jon Pertwee. The Talents of Weng-Chiang Special Edition. And Attack of the Cybermen. That came out September 3rd. Then, on September 17th, the BBC released some more titles with Ambassadors of Death, The Image of Vendel, Nightmare of Eden, Resurrection of the Daleks, and Silver Nemesis. Then, on October, the BBC released quite some more titles. Now here's the ones that came out October 1st. The Sensorite with William Hartnell. Spearhead from Space Special Edition. Underworld. The Horns of Nimon. Time in Irani. Then, October 15th, there are more titles that have been re-released. The Mind of Evil. The Mask of Mandragora. The Awakening. Oops, forgot to include this. Genesis of the Dalek. That came out October 15th as well. Put that to the side. And Survival. Finally, October 29th, the BBC released some 3 titles. And they are Planet of Giants, Robots, and The Hand of Fear. Then, on November 7th, the BBC released some more classic Doctor Who titles. Are The Rescue and the Romans, Planet of Evil, Meglos, and Dragonfire. And finally, on November 26th, 6 titles came out. The Space Museum and the Chase, The Time Monster, The Invisible Enemy with K9 and Company, A Girl's Best Friend, Castrovalva, Arc of Infinity, and Ghostlight. And finally, this year, December 12th, I believe, the BBC came out with, December 9th. December 12th, sorry. The Daemons, The Keeper of Traken, and Battlefield. So that's a total of 69 or 70, 70 or 71 classic Doctor Who titles has been re-released. Look at this. I know. Well, more titles will be coming out in January, so be on the lookout for the next video. Until then, see you soon.